Hello and welcome to my bullet journal tour for 2026. I want to preface this video by saying I am not a bullet journal YouTuber or video maker. I just wanted to post this to let people know that there are so many extravagant spreads out there, so many beautiful things you can do with your bullet journal, and while that's all great, I have found that doing that has made it less functional for me. So this year I really focused on a functional setup, and in fact you'll notice that I didn't do much for yearly stuff, but I think that this is still a good valid way to bullet journal because there's so many. Any way of bullet journaling is valid as long as it works for you, as long as it's helpful, as long as it helps your mental health, your physical health, and all of that. So let's get in. Okay. So first I set this up. So this is actually my only yearly spread, and I did it by 6 months because, as you can see, I'm already into this book a little bit. And I think it'll carry me through the next 6 months. So I wanted to track my 6 months pain because I get a lot of headaches, migraines, as well as cramps from endometriosis. So I wanted to track that, and I can see I didn't assign my colors yet. So I'm going to do that really quick. I'll do this little golden color for my headaches and this pretty sky blue for my cramps. Okay. And as well for my Spanish, I will do that, my golden color for yes, and this, I want to do a darker blue for Spanish, so I'm going to do that now. So yesterday was the first day of the new year, and I did do Spanish yesterday, and thankfully I did not have a headache yesterday or any cramps, so we're going to leave that blank. Or actually, I am going to add another circle for no pain. So I know, because there's going to be some days where I forget to add this. So one thing I notice in bullet journaling is the amazing, perfect prints that people do. And I really admire them. I have tried to do them. They take so much time, so I've just gotten into the habit of let's do my neatest handwriting possible, and if I want to do a fancier print, that usually takes me over an hour, and I'll even show you on my January spread. So this little cursive thing took me about probably 20 minutes. It's really nice, but 20 minutes for one title, this would have taken me all day. Thankfully, it did not. So I just decided to do these simple decorative stars just to make it look a little neater. I have my January spread with my schedule for the month, along with my goals, which are eating healthy, not spending as much. I want to get back into journaling daily and cutting back my smoking because I am a bit of a smoker. And one of my big goals for this year is to be more physically healthy, and I've noticed that it is cutting into my physical health. So then we're getting into our monthly trackers. I have my mood tracker, which is just this very simple circle. I have decided I will never do these circles again because they were very hard to do. Took so much planning and measuring, and I still didn't get it entirely right. If you see this bulges right here, and it thins out over here, but that's okay. Again, we're not going for perfection, we're going for functionality. So I have my 5 moods mapped out here. I did my first day. Then I'm tracking water, which I didn't do very well yesterday. As you can see, I only did 0 to 2 glasses, but today I'm already in track to pass that goal, so I'm going to hope to get 4 to 6 glasses of water. Next is my steps tracker, which I haven't used yet because I still need to get a pedometer or some kind of step tracker. But this is going to help me track my movement for the day because my big goal for 2026 is to just move more, to be more active and just be better, I guess. the next one is my fast food tracker, which will be a huge thing for me this year because I eat out a lot at my job. I work at a school and it's just so much more convenient to order food to my job rather than bringing lunch in. So I want to focus on cutting back on that and bringing lunch in. So every day that I fill the circle will make me really happy. I want this to be more gold than purple. Then we have my habit trackers. So these are very similar to what we just did, but I separated these because I don't think I need a full page dedicated to any one of these. And you'll see I kind of expanded on them in the next page. So I wanted to track my reading, and actually I did get to read yesterday. And there's no rhyme or reason to the colors on this page. I just wanted it to be a little like colorful thing. So for every day I'm going to be using the same color, but I'm going to be mixing them up. I did not take a shower yesterday just because it was just a nothing day, just really chill. I did take my meds, and I see I forgot to draw those lines in, so let's quickly do that. And you'll see I'm trying very hard to be careful, but because I am on camera, I am a little anxious, which hopefully will get better as I do this more often. So the whole point is to just go super slow. And if your hand is shaky, I recommend like stabilizing it with your other hand. That's how I do it. Oop. And then the other thing, obviously, you can rotate your journal. That's always what I'm doing. Like, I never keep my journal when I'm setting it up. I never keep it in the correct orientation, just because as you're drawing, as you're doodling, you want to make sure that it is even on all sides, and it's best to do that by turning it a bit. So as I said, I did take my medication yesterday, and I did go to sleep relatively early. Still not as early as I wanted to, but it was earlier than midnight, so I'm going to count it. Okay, next I'm going to be tracking what I'm reading. And my goal for this year is to do 12 books. And I am going to just count these right here. So I'm going to put 1 here. So 12 books. I hope to do 1 book a year, but I'm also going to be reading multiple books at one time. So right now I'm reading Anna Karenina by Leo Tolstoy, and it's a drama. Not really super into dramas, so on my channel we'll be talking about a lot of books that we read, and I probably won't get into historical fiction. Probably won't talk about Anna Karenina much, if not at all. It is very good, very beautifully written. It's just not what I have expertise in. It's not what I'm used to reading, so I don't have much commentary to put to it. The other book I'm still reading is Starbringer. I've been reading this book for months, but I'm hoping if I'm actually talking about it, if I'm actually like doing videos about it, I'll actually have motivation to finish it. And the author is Marie. No, that's not the author. I forget who the author is. I'll write that in later. But the genre is science fiction YA, which means young adults. Okay, and then down here I have my clean tracker. So I just have for this week, I have a goal of doing 1 day without smoking. Week 2, I'm going to increase that to 3 days, and I'm going to try to get 5 days on week 3, but I know me, and I know starting small is really the key. So week 3 and week 4, I want it to go to 5, but if we do 3, I'm going to be happy with that. And then I need to come up with 2 rewards to give myself when I hit my goals. So if I'm still thinking about this, I'm thinking maybe a weekly reward will be will probably be extra craft time, because I don't give myself a lot of craft time. I get 15 minutes every single day to do my crafts. So this might be, let's say, half an hour crafts. and I'll come up with my monthly later. And actually, I think a perfect monthly goal will be nails, because I love to get my nails done, but they are not a necessity. So I will actually be stopping getting my nails done. I know, they're so pretty. I love these. Here, let me adjust my light so you can see a little better. But they're like these gorgeous. I go to the best nail tech in the world, but I will be cutting back on that in 2026, unfortunately. So then my next most important spread, I will argue this because this just gives me so much happiness, is my what's good spread. And what this is every day I write down one thing that made me smile. And this is really good for people, well, for me, it's really good because it reminds me that even when I'm having bad days, even on days where I put, let's switch back to my moods, even on days that I put this purple color, I can still come up with something good. And that just does wonders for my mental health. So I actually got this idea from my college professor. She started off every class with asking, hey, what's good? And we would go around the class and everyone had to do one thing. And it really helps me just remind myself that, like, even if I'm having a bad day, there's still stuff out there that can make me smile. So, and then this is my weekly. I'm going to keep this as simple as possible. As you can see, I didn't really put any decorations here. These are meant to be starred. I didn't really put many decorations here because, again, I want to focus on functionality over pretty, but I still do want to make it a little pretty. So I'm just going to quickly add these stars in, and maybe later I'll change my mind and add those like tapestry lights that we were doing before. But for now, I think that this is good enough. And so for my weekly, I am, and I should have only done 4 boxes, but I did all 7. I'm tracking how often I'm smoking. These is going to be my to-dos. I don't have much so far, but I will be adding this as time goes on. And then I will also be tracking my expenses with totaling it out at the bottom. I'm focusing on my expenses because that is my big goal for the year, that and be healthy. And actually, I'm hoping that what will keep me accountable with my expenses is that I'm doing a little challenge with my sister to see who doesn't spend as much. And whoever spends the least amount of money on non-essentials will win the challenge. And the loser will have to... we still need to figure out what the loser will do. But I'm really excited to do that. I think I'm on track so far to beat her this week, but we're going to be doing it for the next 6 months, so that'll be very exciting. And that is the end of my bullet journal. Again, really sweet, really short, but I just wanted to hop on here to point out that bullet journal can be beautiful, can be as extravagant as you want it, but if it's not functional, then that is kind of defeating the purpose. So thank you for following along with my bullet journal for 2026, and I look forward to posting more videos. Bye.